in South Africa, we're big on anniversaries. Whether it's National Cleavage Day or even National Bride Day, we make sure that there's very little work involved so that we can take part in our national favorite pastime, drinking and driving. Can't just drink alone, you must drink and drive. That's our national pastime, then we die. But there's one anniversary that the government really does not want us to commemorate. And I'm not talking about Msholozi Day, where we all as South Africans take a shower and have extravagant renovations of our home. I'm talking about the second anniversary of the Marikana massacre.
112 shot, 34 dead.
I guess the government is really trying hard to make sure that Marikana is not remembered as another Sharpeville in the collective memory of the people of South Africa. But something tells me that a certain advocate with a taste for suits and parades is not going to let it slide.
You made a call to Mr. Zokwana, correct? You made a call on the 12th of August to Minister Mtetwa. You made a call to Minister Susan Shabangu. And then lastly, you had the famous email exchanges with Lonmin Leadership Board Chairperson and so on.
Commissar legal-wise is proper going hard at the Deputy President, Cyril Ramaphosa, but rightfully so, because if there's one person who needs to tell us about making a phone call on that day is Buffalo Ramaphosa. Hey, you made that call on that day, did you not, or did you? Did you or did you not?
And at the same time, you were a shareholder of Lonmin.
Yes. Shanduka.
Of Shanduka, yes, which is a shareholder in Lonmin.
Yes.
Yeah. Then you were caught up in a cesspool of incestuous relationships in relation to the players.
Mr. Chairman, I do take exception to that.
Forget making Oscar Pistorius the double amputee tap dance. This guy is making the Deputy President moonwalk, Baba. Moonwalk. And there's one thing we know how to spot here at Late Night News. It's a conflict of interest. For instance, if you by any chance come from a history of being a strong trade unionist and then later you find yourself playing on the opposite team at the board of Lonmin, and then before you could finish counting your mining shares, you subsequently became the Deputy President of the country, you might just not be the right person to negotiate with the miners. And perhaps this is just a suggestion. You should not be phoning the Minister of Police to bring in the firing squad. But if there's one thing you should have known, Dalimbofu, is that you could never corner a raging buffalo. A raging buffalo.
Mr. Mpofu and I had a fairly friendly discussion here yesterday. And I asked him, are you now senior counsel? He said...
Now that's true.
He says, yes, I'm supposed to be senior counsel. And I said, Silk, and he said, I'm supposed to be, all that remains is for the president to sign the certificate that I should be clothed with the proper robe of being a Silk. And I said, oh, this could be a conflict of interest.
Don't get me wrong, Cyril looks like a guy who knows how to tell a lie, but Dalimbofu's body language is saying, yo, it's getting hot here. It's getting hot. It's hot.
Okay, well...
Let's keep the temperature down. Let the witness continue his answer. If you don't like it, you want to put something to him, you can do so.
Otherwise, we won't say what you want so that we can go back to the...
And look at that woman next to him, embarrassed. She's like, what judge? Even that judge is feeling awkward holding her head in... Now, don't let him do you like that, Dal. It's not fair. Because I know there's a boxer in you somewhere. A boxer that's about to be unleashed.
You don't raise the temperature, and the temperature will remain calm. Otherwise, you'll get 10 times of what you give. Okay? All right, now...
Mr. Mpofu, that's a threat. I don't like witnesses being threatened in my court or before my commission.
Well, no, it's a promise, Chairperson. It's not a threat.
But sadly, it's become less about the miners and more about the ANC and the EFF, as if the National Assembly wasn't enough. Now, whether it's Mr. Conflict of Interest himself, Cyril Ramaphosa, or Dalimpofu, whether it's the conflict of ideology of the Tripartite Alliance or the EFF earning parliament salaries, there is definitely many conflicts of interest happening left, right, and center. And at the end of the day, who is to blame for Marikana? Who is to blame for Marikana?
The responsibility has to be collective, and as a nation, we should dip our heads and accept that we did fail the people of Marikana.
Cyril, me, I wasn't there. I was at home, Miss Cyril. I guess you want to blame the taxpayer. Okay, I get it. I guess because we paid tax, they bought the bullets, the cop cars, we built the roads with this tax that lead to Marikana. We are to blame. Okay, are you happy now? Actually, this is all nonsense. In fact, this whole thing in South Africa, this tendency we have of creating commissions is getting old. I mean, commissions are essentially toothless. Their decisions are not binding. They can only make recommendations like Chuluma Dansela or an angry letter. In fact, it's more theatrical than anything else. It's annoying. Let's end this commission thing.
News that moves. ENCA.com.